Hello, fellow humans. Welcome to another episode of the Highlight Show, where I take a look at games for pro play and check out interesting strategical nuances and see what's up. And yeah, for this one we got T1 versus Top Esports. Bit of an older game at this point, but had some banger moments, so couldn't pass this one up. And the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is, well, the lane swap that T1 performed at the start of this, which for starters just looks pretty standard, right? But the first different thing is that 369 actually just gets completely run down here. Probably not just, well, just underestimating the Ashe chase potential a bit, and gives off an easy first blood. And in succession to this, T1 play some uniqueness in lane swap that makes this a lot more effective and actually nets them a really, really solid lead to snowball the game with. So for starters, you can see it's just all like normal. You do the typical support, go into mid lane, get the level 2 going, right? You've seen that a zillion times at this point. Then carrier goes bot, tries to bait the dive. Zeus is ready with the TP. And yeah, Top Esports attempt to go for the dive, carrier survives it. Zeus catches wave, 369 goes top because he's not on a threat of getting dove, collects this wave as well. And then this would just be the normal lane swap style, right? But T1 actually choose to just completely extend this lane swap all the way. And for a while actually have Zeus and carrier lane bot against JackeyLove's Mako, which is kinda crazy. Thinking that we now have like a melee ADC kinda, and then also an Ashe versus Renekton matchup in top lane. Which, as you can see, is actually heckin' unplayable for the Renekton. Like, what is this poor guy supposed to do? He's just getting bullied by Ashe, champ with way too much range for him. So that's a pretty smart choice in terms of matching by T1, which I think more teams could look to do with these general kind of picks. And yeah, from here they just keep the Ashe on top, eventually rotate to the Ashe again, and abuse the prio the champ generates even an isolated matchup to then play for first crops. As you can see, pretty uncontested. Because also Top Esports knows this, right? So they just choose to instead go for Drake crossmap of their own. And then T1 with these grubs just proceed to completely obliterate top lane tower. Because, well, you just got grubs, so you're faster at taking top lane tower due to grubs, and then also because enemy team has a Jhin, and Jhin is historically pretty slow at pushing towers, right? So you know that you're just going to be a lot faster, and even though this tower has 5 plates, and the one here is already on like 3 or 4, yeah, 3 actually, you're going to see that T1 actually just smack this tower down with the Jax and the Ashe before TES is even able to get theirs to the last plate. And after this, T1 proceed to swap back to the bot lane. You can see they already have a sizable gold lead, and will now just aim to give the second grubs in order to take full plates on this tower as well. And takes them quite a while. Top Esports find a nice fight bot in a second. Gets them at least a 1-for-1 in behind game state, which, you know, not the worst. But yeah, eventually T1 just decided enough is enough, and they proceed to rotate Zeus back to the bot lane. He drops some things on top for it, but not that much. As you can see, the wave isn't even that bad, and yep, T1 just decide to dead us completely 5-man push once Top Esports are on the top side ropes. And then like 369 even tries to defend this, but turns out if you TP into, well, now a total of 5 people, then yeah, you're just getting volleyballed and completely off, so that wasn't the best decision perhaps. So yeah, T1 now in very chill position to take full plates here as well. JackeyLove can trade a bit back in mid, but overall you can see that T1 have now secured themselves a nice roughly 3k gold lead after this tower falls. And so very, very solid early game by them, and just nice clean rotations for clear plans in terms of tier 1 towers and then full plates. So they set themselves up pretty well. But, well, if you've watched the game, you know what happens now. Which is, well, you would think that T1 is now in prime position to just convert this game, right? There's not really that much that can go wrong. They are 3k up, have items on their carries. Like, everything's chill, right? Well, ideally, you would now want to like push in your side lanes and then rotate for this mid tier 1 as per usual, right? Since you're also winning in your side lanes most likely. But you want to like, man, what if we took this blue buff? Wouldn't that be cool? And yeah, I suppose it would be cool. Thing is, it just doesn't really matter. Like, none of these junglers really care about farm that much. None of these mid laners really care about blue buff that much. So I don't really know why T1 really wanted to fight this, but they did. And this way they actually found out the only way that they can lose the game. Which, as you can see, they find a banger engage onto 2 targets, look completely bomba, and then they get totally wiped by Jhin with Static Shiv. Sadly, I couldn't find it in this replay, but there's a very nice damage graph that just shows half of Jhin's magic damage in this fight being magic damage, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, that's just the static shift and maybe some trap explosions. But yeah, this sets the tone for the overall remaining team fights of the game. And this is also our highlight because without this fight here, top esports would have never been able to play the game. And the main reason why this fight even works for top esports, despite T1 getting this engage onto Aurora, is that the main relevant carry is just the Jhin. Like, you can see this guy just does so much damage once he gets his static proc going, and if you actually look at the rest of the game, then you will notice that every single fight is literally decided by T1 getting onto Jhin or not. And so, in a way, that is just the magic formula. Like, if T1 kill Jhin, then they win, and if they don't kill Jhin, then they lose. And it turns out, in more fights than they didn't manage to kill the Jhin, and therefore they lost the game, which pretty consequent if you ask me. So yeah, this was another episode of the highlight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you learned something, I would really appreciate it if you put something in the comments in terms of feedback. I would always love to improve these videos further. And you can also find the link to my community Discord in the description. I would love it if you joined there as well. Got free stuff, got coached in houses, all those good things. So we'll be happy to have you there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.